Hey, eighth graders, Mrs. Gale here. I will keep this short. This video will not go over the Google or the Go Formative assessment as in depth as I did for the other video that is on the Distance Learning Weekly Update. All right, so we're on task 34. You have a summative assessment that is in Google Classroom, linked there. I also wanted to point out that the last day of school parade information is right here. So that Thursday we'll be driving through neighborhoods. So read through that information. And there's a video about our last drive by Chaska Middle School East. When you go into Google Classroom, the assignment, oh, I got rid of it. Oh, well, is linked. And I will also link these slides, but you can see that most students have been to the clay hole in Chaska, 71%. Not a lot of students have been to any of these different parks. And then Interstate Park was the next highest at 9.5. Students would really like to go see, excuse me, Mystery Cave at 30%, and then 19% Interstate Park, and then which was beautiful with the colors, and then a lot of you would like to see the Sudan Mine, which is the deepest mine in Minnesota. There was evidence and examples in most of the parks that there was an ancient ocean or shallow ocean that covered it. The shark teeth was evidence, snails is evidence in this park. And then if there's sandstone and it doesn't have shapes like sand dunes, then you know it wasn't a desert, and it was probably an ocean. And this is Lake Vermilion, and there's pillow lava near this park. And pillow lava forms from basalt erupting, creating the ocean floor under the ocean. And so it looks like this. And then if you see it, glaciers have scraped off the top of the pillow lava, that's what it looks like. So this is evidence that there was ocean near Lake Vermilion. No evidence here. Jay Cook had evidence with the mud and sand, which are deposited by the sea, creating this rock shale. So if there's shale around, that's a possibility, although shale can be with lakes. Interstate Park, siltstone and sandstones is evidence. And then it says probably formed by a shallow sea for the Blue Mound State Park, creating the these cliff walls. Glacial River Warren is not an evidence for ancient seas. You might have said this limestone was created by ancient seas, which is true. But when a glacier comes through and scrapes off this rock and crushes it, it can turn into clay-sized particles, which was deposited in Chaska. So the clay holes were actually formed by humans digging up all that clay and creating a big hole in the ground. They dug up the clay to make these bricks. So it was a light-colored, really durable clay to make these bricks. And then this was the thing that I really wanted to point out too. I was blown away the first time I saw this many years ago. So this is the present day Minnesota River, and like how deep it is in water in the ground in comparison with when we had this glacial River Warren that came through. It was a huge river and went from the valley of Chaska kind of all the way over to Shakopee. And so you can see the remnants of that now. So if it were there today, this is where Chaska would be. 11,000 years ago, Chaska wasn't there. So Chaska was never completely under the River Warren or underwater. It has gotten flooded, but that is not when River Warren was here. And then here's the clay hole. So this is the sediment was in here filling clay, and then we dug it out to make those clay holes. All right. And then for your assessment, you are going to be using this table, and you'll notice it talks about time, and I go over this table and give some helpful hints that are going to help you on this assessment. All right, good luck.